This Ridley-O is brought to you by LRN.FM. Feds don't want you to hear them.
There will be a demonstration today in about 45 minutes in Winchester, New Hampshire, to support Black Lives Matter. And I'm going to go, and I hope they don't misinterpret my relatively hard questions as hostility. I guess I have mixed feelings about something like Black Lives Matter, just because it's great to see anti-police activity, but I saw what happened in Bosnia when you associated political movements too closely with ethnic groups. There were three main political organizations, factions in Bosnia, and each one was associated with one of the three main ethnic groups, and that didn't work out well. It's June 10th, 2020. And I've got such a backlog of video and interesting stories to tell. I'm sorry it takes me forever to get these things to trickle out on the air. So I'm sorry if this is airing late, and so much of my stuff seems to be airing late. So I'm standing here with Crystal from Winchester, who is, I guess you would consider yourself a co-organizer of the demonstration, which, correct me if I'm wrong, would be considered to support Black Lives Matter, correct?
I would call it a rally and a vigil in support of Black lives.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah.
Have police been tolerant of both this demonstration and the one before it so far?
I invited Chief Tillett to this. He was super happy to come. He plans to be here, barring any police events that he needs to be a part of today.
And what would you say, I mean, if you look back at all of your time in Winchester, is there a grievance that you have, something you think the police have done or been doing that they shouldn't do?
I don't know. I grew up in Winchester. I have always felt like we have a really good community. For me, this event is more about letting the people of color know that white allies are here for them, that we care for them, and we just want to be here to support them.
Do you have a suggested solution to the current problems?
I think it's just education. I think our nation as a whole has some pretty dark history around race, and I think it's our duty as white people to educate ourselves and to educate other white people in our community.
So I saw this quote on the Facebook page. It was, quote, if you are a POC, going back to the beginning, quote, we are always happy to add additional speakers to our vigil. If you are a POC or know a POC whose voice rightfully deserves to be elevated, please message us, unquote. Yeah. To what extent is that technically sort of discriminating on the basis of race?
I think that white people often like to see, they don't like to see, but I think that equality can often be perceived as oppression for those who have privilege. So I understand why maybe a white person or maybe someone with more privilege might view it that way. For me, it's recognizing that as a nation and as a community, we have a history of white people just naturally by due of our history having more of the power and more of a platform to speak. And this is really an opportunity to encourage POC participation and to make sure that they have an option to have their voice heard.
All right, Crystal, I appreciate your time.
Absolutely, thank you.
All right, thank you.
Definitely. Okay, so I think we're gonna start gathering, but thank you for being here.
Oh, you're welcome.
Yeah.
I haven't left yet.
Nope, can't do that.
Federal agents on the streets of Keene, New Hampshire. They're investigating reports of an unlicensed radio station said to be broadcasting LRN.FM. So why all the fuss? What is LRN.FM? Well, it's probably not something these agents want you to listen to. It's a 24-hour news talk broadcast, all pro-liberty. A true authoritarian-free zone. Tune in at LRN.FM to listen or broadcast their signal. LRN.FM. Feds don't want you to hear them.